fine. Thank you very much.
Good, glad to hear it. Did you have a nice Father's Day?
It was okay.
Good.
Hello, Kez. The Beasleys are on in force.
Hello, Andy.
Kez. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't looking at you, Chris, but there you go.
What, Andy? I've got clothes on.
It's all right.
Better than a bikini.
I don't mind.
Well, from my point of view, it's better than a bikini.
I've heard of these websites.
Only you, Dave.
I said I've heard of them. I haven't been there.
Yeah. A bit cooler today.
Just a tad.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
Pleasure.
Nasty tan you've got on your nose, Joanna.
Now, is this better?
Well, you're always beautiful and real.
Oh, thank you, Andy. Oh, that's
Is
the
that more the
nicest
rest of
thing
us
that
out
Andy
there?
has said to me ever.
Yeah.
do you mean the rest of us aren't real, Andy?
Hey,
You mean the rest of us aren't real?
I'm not saying a word.
No, David, he has just been nice to me. So I'm
Yeah,
just taking
nice one nice and the night's enough.
Today is my day, tomorrow is yours.
Yeah, I'll never get mine.
Might be waiting a bit longer, Dave.
He's got all your lovely women to work to before he gets to me, and then he starts again, and I'll never get there.
Yes. How's Canny's back? Hello, Canny. How's your back?
Oh, you're getting the silent treatment now.
I know. Just don't know if she can hear me.
Hey.
Yeah, I said, how's your back?
Oh, it's not great. It's not great. My computer's still logging in.
All right. Okay. Oh, fair enough. Well, we can all see you.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's get cracking. So, well, share screen. Okay. So tonight's meeting.
Sorry, guys. My mom was calling me for dinner.
All right. Okay. So, as you know, Ariel, we run a 10-step system. I wonder how many of you are each week actually studying a particular step. Only you know the answer to that. All right. But you can learn about 10 steps. I know Kez and Dave both went to Birmingham. Who else went to Birmingham? Did you go to Birmingham?
Yeah.
Here's the dates for the next lot. Worley and Scotland is Saturday, Yorkshire on Sunday, Bristol, then Ireland, then Birmingham. And obviously putting your dates, we're going to talk about dates and organisation in a minute tonight. The conference, and then we've got 2 other conferences. Now, some of you will have seen this. Some of you will not have seen this. So what do you see if you look at this picture? What a lot of people see is a little island with a man in a boat and a big fish at the side of them. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Okay. However, if you turn the picture upside down, you might see a totally different thing. You might suddenly see a big bird with a man in his mouth.
A bird.
Yeah. Okay. So the
Yeah,
thing
I
is,
see a
it's like
bird.
that. Some people see a catalogue business. Some people see a selling business, where others will see a lifestyle, ability to make money, to grow something for themselves, etc. So you've got to be aware that people don't always see what you see. And, you know, you need to be aware of that when you're talking to people. So the one thing that you cannot change, and this is what a lot of people have a problem with, is you cannot change your past. Now, it could be your immediate past. It could be your past up to yesterday. You cannot change what you have done in the past. You can only change what you do in the future. So it's time to start dreaming. You realise 6 months of the year's gone already nearly. Yesterday was the longest day of the year. So unfortunately, as of yesterday, the nights are going to get shorter.
Or longer even.
Okay. So July 2017 should be the start of your next new 5-year plan. So what would you like July the 1st, 2021 to look like for you and your family? Do you have it mapped out? More importantly, what will it look like? Because that's the thing. It's all right having a vision. It's actually turning that vision into reality. Too many people say they're going to do things, and we're as guilty as anything. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. Talk is cheap. It's what it looks like. So step one on your new 5-year plan is to set some goals. Somebody's noisy. Oh, that. It is, but it was very noisy. Oh, my wife's come home. How'd you get on tonight, my love?
Mind your own business.
Oh, right, okay. What she means is she's not going to share it on here. Okay. All right, so set some goals. Why should you set some goals? Because if you don't know where you're heading, how can you plan to get there? You've got no direction, you know. So here's an example of how to set about doing that. What we use is the following headings, and I meant to look it up earlier. This all comes from a particular book from Jim Rohn called 7 Steps to Strategy, Wealth and Strategy, and I can't see it. Never mind. Okay, so you have a number of headings. What do I want to have? What do I want to see? What do I want to experience? What do I want to share? There's actually 6 different headings, but this will get you off to a good start. So what you then do is write down everything that comes into your mind and let it roam freely. Don't spend any more than 10 minutes on it. Because if you have to think about it too deeply, and it's not something that really, really drives you. Then what you do is you split everything into time spans, i.e. we're just going to 3 different categories, 1 year, 3 year and 5 year. For some people, 10 year is too far away. I will split it up into 1 year, 3 year and 5 year goals, because we were talking about on a 5-year plan, weren't we? Or I was. Then what you need to do is check they're balanced. So if you have too many 1-year goals, not enough 5-year goals, generally means you don't have big enough goals. Conversely, if you have too many 5-year goals and not enough 1-year goals, it mean you're putting off things as your belief levels are not yet fully developed. Now, once you've set your goals, you need to put a monetary value on them. In other words, work out how much it's going to cost you to achieve the goal that you want. And then you know what you need to do to achieve, so we can work out what you need to do in a business to achieve them. So let's say, for instance, I know you want to go to Disneyland, it's going to cost you £1,000. What do you need to earn £1,000? What do you need to do in the business? There's 2 ways of doing it. One is personal retail, that's extra retail. That's about an extra £4,000 worth of business. That'll give you £1,000. Or it's to get into Gold Distributor, which will give you an extra £1,000 a month. But once you know what you want to earn to achieve the goals, then you know what you can have to do in the business. And that's when you come into business goal setting. So then what you do is you sit down with your mentor to go over them and put together a workable plan and agree the method of tracking. Often I sit down with people and we say, oh, we're going to do regular meetings, we're going to do regular this. And it's all right for the first few weeks, but then all of a sudden it just tails off. And I often ask myself, is it down to me not chasing that person up or not? And you might find the same when you have team members. And I come to the same conclusion. And it was said to me many years ago, it is not your job to chase your team members. It's your team members' job to chase you. Yes, in the early days, you might need to give them support and guidance and give them self-belief. But once they've been in the business a while and they've got a plan set out, it's down to them to be chasing you for help, not the other way around. And that's how you'll learn whether you've got people who are really serious or, and it can happen to us because it's happened to us before, people who just go off the boil. And occasionally that's when you sometimes do need to get involved and say, look, we had a plan. What do you need us to do to help you? But also be aware there are circumstances. I mean, like for instance, Sarah's got a problem with her back. So, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, you should be out doing your catalogues. Because she can't do it. We know that. What you need to do is then gather together pictures or statements of your goals and then post them on a dream board so they're available for you to look at on a regular basis. It keeps them things in your daily vision and programs your subconscious. Sort of thing like that. Okay. How many of you actually have got dream boards?
Yes.
Me.
Yep. Are they regularly reviewed? Have they been stuff been ticked off? What you want to do, I think, is to start July the 1st as your new start, because the end of this month, kids are leaving school, going into work. Students are going to be looking for work during the summer. You're going to find lots of people who have had jobs working in schools and that suddenly need some money to work. So you're going to find lots of people July, August, and as you're aware, the end of August when kids go back to school, people have freedom. You know, kids going to school for the first time full time. They want to earn extra money for Christmas. So let's get it started right now. So first thing we need to do is get organised and note down all the events for the year. That doesn't mean just the events in your area, events for the whole area. Webinars, your 10 steps, your rally, your conferences. A few weeks ago, I asked if anybody was prepared to actually run a Monday night induction for me. I had no takers. So at the moment, there hasn't been any inductions run. I'm going to have to take it back and start scheduling some because we're getting a number of new starters. You need to know when each period finishes. When do you get paid? So your new starting members need to know when their first pay packet will be. And what you need is a diary like that or something similar. Yeah. So you can put in there the periods, you can put in there when you get paid, etc., etc. And the other thing you need to develop is a positive attitude. We've all needed a positive attitude in the last few weeks. The company has had major issues, and these things are there to test us. They're there to test your attitude, because there's nothing that could have been done about it. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw that Findale were going to be arseholes, and it caused the company a lot of issues. Now, some people will spend time whinging and moaning about it, but it's like the weather. You can't change the weather. You can, like they say, if you get given lemons, make lemonade. You have to get on with it. All right. As I say, a good attitude is totally free and can become worth millions to you, whereas a bad attitude becomes very expensive. As I say, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. That's the thing about an attitude. You decide how you react to anything. So, you take the letters attitude. Always make today your best day. Take pride in a job well done. Treat others with respect. Interrupt negative thoughts. But a good book for people is this one here. All right, when everybody can see me. Where am I?
Yeah, can.
Okay. There's that
Oh, lots
there. And this might even help you, David.
Can I have 2 copies?
I can see you, but I can't see the title of the book.
It's called Self-Talk for Women.
Self-talk for women.
By Elise Helmstetter.
Yeah. The thing is that what you say up here affects what happens.
I'm gonna write that down.
Okay. Treat tasks and challenges as opportunities. Utilize your personal talents daily and discover the gifts that others bring to you. Now, what do I mean by that? So, your new team members will motivate. It's amazing what a new team member will do to motivate you. Expect positive outcomes every time and speak well of others. That's your attitude. Now, if we take each letter of the alphabet and give it a numerical value, that's A equals 1, B equals 2, and so on, until Z equals 26, and we take some well-known terms within our business. For instance, skills. If you take those letters, add up the values, that gives you a scoring of 82. If you look at knowledge, knowledge gets you 96, so we're moving up towards the 100%, aren't we? If you take hard work, once again, it's pushing up, 98. But there's only one that gives you 100%. That's attitude. 100% of what you do is down to your attitude. You can have the skills, you can have the knowledge, you can have the hard work, but if you can screw it all with a bad attitude. So how do you develop a better attitude? The first way is personal development. Now, everybody that's on here tonight, I have no problem with your attitude towards personal development. But is Thursday night the only time that you actually get the injection? Is it that you aren't going to your 10 steps? Are you working out how to get to a 10 steps? When myself and Sharon started, our nearest training was Sheffield, which was an hour and a half away. Our big event was north of Glasgow. We travelled 7 hours for a 4-hour training event because we knew we needed to be there. You need to be wherever you need to be to get the information you need to grow your business. You can turn your house, your car into a university by having books and tapes. You can change the way your business goes by setting targets rather than expectations. What do I mean by that? Well, I think I'm going to cover it off in a second. Understand your ratios and give without expecting anything in return. In other words, don't keep score of what people owe you. So, books and tapes. What I'd say, read anything by Jim Rohn. Listen to the mindset training from Chris Mason Paul. Now, if you haven't got this, ask me for it. I'll get you the link. Setting targets rather than expectations, i.e., aim to get an amount of orders or an amount of inquiries and don't stop until you do, rather than focusing on how many ads, catalogs, posts you put out. You know, somebody could say, oh, I want £100 worth of orders, so I'm going to put 100 catalogs out. I'm going to put some. You don't you put as many as it takes to get the amount of responses you need, both on advertising and on catalogues and on posting adverts. I had a conversation with somebody today. Said, "Oh, I tried click that once, but nobody was interested." And I actually said to that person, "Well, that's a load of rubbish." I said, "Because we've got people selling a lot of money on here. I'm not going to name names, but people out there are getting big orders. If you look at your personal sales average, I was looking at one recently. Gary Watson, who's a SED, is doing £12,000 worth of personal sales. Now, majority of that is not catalogues. Most of it is online. Okay, you need to understand your ratios. Now, I'm going to talk about ratios as to regards sponsoring, but you can do that on orders, how many catalogues you put out. You can do it on groups that you're posting to online. How many of you are actually looking at the top products and making sure that they're all out there? Okay. What you need to do is track how many people you need to speak to so that one person joins your team. Because once you know how many people you need to talk to get one person joining, it'll give you a ratio. So let's imagine this is a scenario. I know if I present to 8 people, then one person will join. This isn't my ratio, by the way. My ratio is slightly better than that. I'm just not talking to enough people. If I talk, therefore, I know that so I need to present to 8 people. So how many people do I need to talk to present to 8? Well, I know that if I talk to 12, I generally will present to 8. So if I need to talk to 12, how many inquiries do I need to be able to talk to 12? Well, I know that if I get 16 inquiries, I will generally talk to 12. And therefore, if I talk to those 12, I will present to 8 and I'll have one person joining. So my focus isn't on presenting to 8 people. My focus is on getting 16 inquiries. So if you purely focus on getting 16 inquiries, I know one person will join. It might be the first person I speak to, it might be the 16th. It doesn't always work that way, because it might well be I speak to 16 people and nobody signs in, then I speak to another 16 and 2 sign in. But the averages work out because I understood my ratios. So if I want 2 a week, I focus on getting 32 inquiries, etc. And your ratios will always improve with time and practice. But you need consistency. The other thing is give without expecting anything in return. Do you do this? Honestly, do you do it? Look hand on heart. Do you post in the resources group for everybody else without worrying about whether everybody else is posting? I know at times I've looked at that, thought, oh, I don't anyone doing this. Don't make a difference. Are you doing it because you expect other people to do it, or are you doing it to provide for the team? You go back to Jesus. He went out without expecting anything in return. He just asked people to follow him, and he would make them fishers of men. And from that, one person speaking to one person that can turn into 12, turn into millions. But everybody had the opportunity to reject it if they wanted to. So you need to give every team member the same support without prejudice. Now, there is a slight difference if you're trying to build a team with somebody and they're not doing what they said they would do, then you can't really put people into their team, because if you do that, are you teaching them how to build a team, or are you just building it for them? Because you want it to develop in such a scenario that it's going to develop long after the time that you stop helping them. Well, not, you won't stop helping them, but you understand my premise. Okay. So, you must give every prospect the same presentation without prejudice. That's why we have the script. That's why when a distributor sees the presentation and they join and you teach them this is the presentation that we do to our distributors, they know it works. You need to, yes, you'll always put your own personality into it, but you should never skimp on the information given. Tony Briffa wasn't told when he started that he could build a team. He just was shown about the retailing side of the business. Once he knew he could build a team, then he went flying with it. Rob Foster didn't realise that you could get more than 50 catalogues, so they went gold with everybody on 50 catalogues. They didn't realise they could buy more catalogues. You need to provide everybody with the full information and not say, oh, this person doesn't need to know this, this person doesn't need to know this. Everybody needs to know everything that's in the presentation to the level that we're showing it. Serving others. In other words, sharing your ads on the resources site. Sharing your story for others to use. There are groups out there that will keep everything to themselves. But there are other groups out there that give out everything. Look at the 10 Steps group. They didn't have to open up the training. They didn't have to supply trainers to people who they're going to have no financial benefits to. By the way, I would like to add my congratulations to Kevin and Becky. I don't know if you all saw it. Kev Ryder took Becky on a balloon trip and then proposed to her. And she said yes. I think she was going to throw her out. She said, no, you wouldn't do that.
He was.
Okay. So all in all, what you need to do is become the leader that you would like to have.
That's so sweet.
Ask yourself, before you take any action, is this beneficial to my business in a positive way? And that could be down to a simple post on social media. You might have a particular political standpoint, but you could turn people off from you. Yeah, it could be lots of different things. So the answer to the question you just asked yourself, will this help my business? And the answer you give back is no. Don't do it. Don't speak it. Don't write it. The law of attraction, and if you don't know what the law of attraction is, study The Secret. You can get it on YouTube. Whatever you give out, you will receive back in abundance. You'll hear the same from Jim Rohn. You'll hear the same from all leaders. Pete and Jackie, when they started, if you ever speak to Pete and Jackie, she will not listen to negativity. She will not listen to anybody who wants to whinge and moan. Go and have yourself a little pity party, but I don't need to hear it. Yeah, they decided they were going to run a meeting and they were going to provide a meeting. Whoever turned up, turned up. It didn't matter whether it's 1 or 20. It could be quite easy for me to say, oh, there's 7 people on here tonight. Oh, is it worth it? Yes, it is to those 7 people. Because those 7 people may hear something that may end up with them building a team and having the next couple of weeks have another 7 people and so on. So you must give out positive thoughts and therefore you'll receive positive results. Don't set yourself a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure by your comments. And this is where we talk about self-talk. I can't do this. I'm not achieving this. The lady I was speaking to earlier said she tried it. She didn't do very well. Why is that? Because she quit. She didn't follow through. I'm not going to question her. That's her own. And do I want a team of people who quit? No. Do I want to be mixing with people who quit, who may contribute to the team group chat and things like that with negative comments? No, I don't. You must have a can-do mentality, because what is the difference? Every single person has the same catalogue. Every single person has the same products. Everybody has the same ability to post as many adverts as somebody else. It's just whether you do or whether you don't. So decide what you would like from the next 5 years and go get it. All right. So to recap, decide what you want by setting some goals. Choose what you're willing to reschedule or give up to get it, because you will have to give up some things initially. Pete and Jackie, once they know, I'll go back to them. They said to their friends, we won't be spending so much time doing this, that, and the other with you for the next 12 months because we're building our business and we need to put the foundations in. And we will put that 12 months in, and in the end of their first year, they were earning £4,000 a month because they went to SED. That put the foundations in, and now they're earning £16,000 to £17,000 a month, and they never have to work again. Now, some people, it's like the sticking plaster. They'll fanny around with it for years instead of just getting the job done. And years on, we're probably one of those as well. We've been here for years. We've not developed it as strong as we should have done. Somebody's just chatting. Okay. That's David. Choose what you're willing to reschedule and give up to get it. Associate with the right people to help you get what you want. In other words, don't mix on Facebook and that with negative people. People come on and start. I've put a few adverts on recently, and I've had people coming up with chat shit and what a load of crap. I just block them. I don't want to even get into an argument with them. What's the point? That's their mindset. Do I really want that type of mindset? Do I need to change everybody's thought processes? No. Have a plan that works, and then work your plan. So that's all I wanted to cover tonight. Have you got any questions? What was Sherry? Hello, Michelle. Didn't see you come on now. Anybody got anything they'd like to add to the discussion? Anybody need any help? Anybody like any guidance on goal setting? Anybody prepared to stand up now and say, I'm going to be a goal distributor by next week?
Next week.
Not next week.
Maybe the
David
week
Beasley
after,
on
Andy.
twice here.
I know. I'm trying to shut my phone down now, and it won't
Don't
shut
worry
down.
about it.
Hi, Michelle.
That's just scary.
Hi, Michelle.
It's on the same thing.
We've got 3 Beasleys on here now.
I know.
Georgie, where's Lexi?
Outside.
She missed training.
So, does anybody need help? How many people are actually placing adverts? How many people are placing enough adverts? How many responses are you getting? Are you tracking things? Because if you are, you should be signing people in. It's gone very quiet.
I'm tracking.
I'm getting the sound a lot later.
All right, okay.
Because you're miles away.
Okay.
You can't open a seat.
but
Yeah. It's like ourselves. We'll sign in 10 people, and out of those 10 people, 5 will do nothing. 3 will become good retailers. 1 will become a team builder, and 1 will be a goal distributor. But they don't all turn up at the same time. And it might be the goal distributor doesn't become a goal distributor for 1.5 years, 2 years. Then they suddenly get somebody who flies with it. But if you don't get the numbers in, because they're joining clean, you see, they're just not joining your team. Because the company's signing in people and everybody, So you have to decide. There are things you can do, there's things you can't do. And there's always a reason why you can't do something. What you need to decide is why. Why can't you do something? And if it can't physically do something, like for instance, you can't go and put 1,000 catalogues out because you can't do this. But you can put adverts on, you can speak to people, you can do what else. Sometimes you need somebody to track it with you. But it also then takes for you to actually ask for the help and support. Because what we're not going to do is push ourselves onto people. Well, David's gone. Okay. Anybody else got anything they'd like to comment or anything they'd like to bring up for future trainings?
Not at the moment.
I'm all right. Just split myself in two. I'm only one of me on here now.
That's the problem, Dave. You're splitting yourself too thinly.
I
No, I just have a good thing to say that the fire is controlled here. Yay!
Oh, good.
And it hasn't reached my nana's house. So yes,
That's even better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Joanna's working so hard, she set Portugal on fire.
So, yeah. Up to you. Let me know what help you need, support you need. If there's nothing else you would like to discuss tonight, we'll close this off, get it set up and put the training online. And you know the phone number. We're here when you need us. And speak to you later. All right.
Speak to you
Bye,
later.
thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.